Hello, everybody. Hi. Hi. Hello. I'm Maz. I've been gone for a long time, but I had an idea for something and I saw something that I thought looked really cool. This video is about my HueForge workflow. So, HueForge is something that I became aware of, I think it was September of last year. Yeah, it was September of last year. I went to the maker event that they have at OMSI that they started doing again with the Portland 3D printing lab. And West 3D had these prints sitting on the table that were pictures. And I was like, wow, that is cool. And it has been like a really long time since I got excited about anything 3D printed related. So I was really happy to see that. It was exciting. I wanted to figure it out. I wanted to learn it. I have had a struggling time trying to figure out how to do it. And each time that I have figured out how to do it, I forget. Like, I did a bunch of troubleshooting in whatever month is after September. Which one is that? That's October? I don't know. They all kind of blur together. Anyways, and I did some troubleshooting. I didn't really get too far, and the prints didn't really come out that good. Not really at all. So I kind of felt a little bit defeated. And then I tried it again. Oh, I think it was like December. And I was happy with it. But I didn't know what to do with it at the time, right? I mean, because you can print a picture, right? Like on a 2D printer. And it'll look a lot better because you have more detail. But then these 3D prints look really cool too. And it's not like ink. The ink's not gonna fade. That's because that's not the same way. So I came up with an idea where, so if you don't know, I have a shop and I've also like taught stuff to do with 3D printing and designing things with 3D printing. And usually it's always in Fusion. So I want to show you I made a coffin some years ago, but then I remade it, and I thought it would be really cool if you opened it, and on the inside, there was a scene. And I thought, man, now that would be cool. How do I do that? Like, and it was really frustrating, right? Because, the only workflows I kept finding were the ones where it was like, okay, go from HueForge to your Bamboo or HueForge to Krita. And I'm like, yeah, I'm still running like 2015, back when, you know, everybody built their printers. At least all the people I knew built their printers. I don't think anybody else still does. But anyways, through the course of things, I finally figured it out. Hence, I finally have a thing now. So I want to share that workflow with you. I realize we're already 4 minutes into the video, so you probably already left. But if you're still here by chance, what I'm going to cover, and it's going to be just enough notes to remind myself. So I'm not going to go into depth in everything. But it's going to be HueForge itself, which is going to be an old version. I have the newer versions, but I don't really have the mental capacity to relearn or figure out what they did that's new and stuff like that. Plus, the one that I've been using works fine. And then Fusion. I'll briefly show Fusion because you're going to need some kind of software to get your 3D model for the way that I'm applying it. And then I'll be using Stable Diffusion inside of ComfyUI. And I say that lightly because I'm really just going to show you what I did. I'm not going to actually do it. And then Slic3r, the one that's Slic3r. Yeah, nobody really knows what that one is anymore, but I still use it. And then also a little bit of Gcode editing in Repetier. So that's all of it. So let's get started, right? First thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need a model, right? Okay. So if you have Fusion 360, which use whatever software you want. This is just what I use. I know how to use it already. This is the model of the coffin. So in this thing, what I had was I basically, and I will show you briefly. So, computer's being weird. Computer! Oh, why am I holding control? Too many software packages, I tell you. Anyways. So I'm just going to hide these for you and show you. So this is the inside of the panels. So once you have your model, you need the size of the panel, right? So briefly, if you're in HueForge, this is the file for the panel. So this would be the right side. Yeah, this is the right side. And this is, you know, I had all the settings and everything, and it makes your little like depth map, and then you throw it into Slic3r, you do your slicing thing, and then you go into Repetier, which I realize I have other stuff in there, but anyways, so let's start from the beginning, right? Oh, and also I'm using Krita as well to help me with this. I'm not going to do this particular design. I'm actually going to use this other one as an example, because I had like a little like cat thing where I decided to put it inside of here because I thought that was kind of cool. So that's what I'm going to use as an example. So this is a different deck box, and there's specifically a top loader. So here, we'll do this. So this thing here, I'll isolate it because this is how I would do it in Fusion. Now we have this square here, and this we're going to want to basically take a screen capture of it. So I will do Control Q, which is Share X, in case you weren't aware. It's a great program. Like it a lot. So then in Krita, I'm going to take that screen capture and I'm going to make a new image, paste it in. Yeah, sure. Okay, so now I have this. This is just a square of what I have, right? Now in here, I want to crop this to the size of what this is, right? I think that's pretty well on the edge there. I probably don't need this right here. I can't see the monitor. Okay, I'll probably bring this down a little bit. Okay. So now this is essentially my template, right? Because we need to know how big is the picture? How big does it need to be? And I feel like it's easier to kind of like switch between the realms. Like when you're going from 2D to 3D to software. Anyways, so now that I have that, the next thing that I have to figure out is I'm going to generate an image for this, right? So in Comfy, I'm going to generate something, but I need to know what can I generate at, right? I already have it figured out here, but I will go ahead and go back to Krita and go into scale image to new size is what I'm going to do. And I will want to set this, and I believe I can just put it at, yeah, you could put it at 768. I could just set this to 1024. Yeah, 1024 by 762. That's basically sounds exactly like what I had. So now this is this size, right? Okay, well, I know that I'm going to generate at that size. So then I can go back to Comfy. So ComfyUI is it's an interface for Stable Diffusion. It's a different interface than Automatic 1111, and it's not Midjourney. It's not whatever other else it is ran entirely locally on my computer. And so what I did is for my latent image, I set it up to do 1024 by 768. This is kind of one of those common sizes that runs better with the model. And then I have my own custom LoRa that I put in here, and then I have my own custom checkpoint that I made. And then I gave it a prompt, and I made some cats. I made too many cats. Like with anything that I do, anytime I play with Stable Diffusion, I make way too many. So yeah, and then you set all your parameters and whatnot, and then you get your pictures. The one that I want to try to use for the example is this one here. And I want to talk about images a little bit because for me, there is a little bit of a struggle. So from what I have learned from doing this, images that have a lot of like details or hard lines, like if we're looking at this one and we see how like it has kind of these little finer details, we're not printing that big, right? We got to remember that this is fitting into this, right? So depending on your printer, you might want to be careful with details, because even on this one, and you can see a little bit, is the the whiskers, right? They're kind of hard to make out. And that's kind of one of the things that you got to pay attention to with this, is that certain details are not going to come out very good. I have found that I like using like smooth gradient. Oftentimes we'll also use monochrome in my prompt. And then I'll just kind of like put it in there, see what it does. Because another thing with these images is, while it might look so cool, it looks so cool, I love that, when you put it in HueForge, it might not translate the way you think. And I'll explain why. So this is for Comfy, right? So we got our image. And then you can go into your folder and you can look for wherever your image was. It's somewhere in here. Actually, where is it? Yeah, see it. It's right here. So you got your image. Now, you can make your own art. I strongly recommend you make your own art. I, on the other hand, don't, because of how convoluted this process already is for me. So I don't. I just simply don't. It's easier to be more creative in Krita. So in Krita, what you can do is you can then put this image in here, right? Now I realize you don't really need this step for this part. Although if you're making the landscape panel like I did for the coffin, you do. So future me, you do need to do this in Krita if you have that. Because I was generating like full panels and then cutting them in half and then sticking them into HueForge that way, separated, because they were each separate prints. So I guess technically you don't have to use Krita, but you might. Anyways, moving along, HueForge, right? We're gonna do a fresh start here. So you go into File and do Open Image, and you gotta find your thing, which is in here somewhere. Okay, so in here we're going to look for the cat that looks, yes, this cat. We're looking for this cat. So we're gonna open this cat and we're gonna put it in here, right? Okay, cat's in here. Bam. Although if we look, the sizing is, it's what it comes in at. We can't do that though. So this is where, and now, future me, this is another reason why I'm showing you this all in the order that I'm going. Because now, if you didn't write it down, you need to go back to Fusion. And then in Fusion, we need to check, okay, what is this distance? It says 76.6, right? Now, what is the other one? The other one is 103. So it's 103 by 76.6 for a top loader in a deck box. So then you go back to HueForge and you're going to want to change these numbers. One of them, you could or you couldn't. I did 77 on the width. Derps. There, that gives you 102.67. Let me consult my notes real quick because we want to make sure this is right. I said 103.48, but, see, now this is the other thing that'll screw it up, is, so that's why we got to go to Krita. See, these are mistakes that I make on my own. I've already gone through this multiple times today. And I'm still forgetting. Okay, so now we need to take our cat picture and we need to drop it in here. So we're going to take cat picture, going to drop it in here because that's so easy. Cat picture drop. Insert new layer. There we go. So now, yeah, it should be, yeah, see, it's slightly bigger. Okay, yeah, see, now. I just told you it wasn't important, but it is. It is very important. All right, now you do file, export. Hold on a second. I don't know about this. I didn't check this part. Okay, that's probably good. I didn't know what was going to be in here. So then you're going to export that out. We are going to, I'm just going to stick it not in here. I'll put it back in the Comfy folder. Yeah, and we'll export it. Oh, I don't remember if JPEGs or phone noises. I don't remember if JPEGs or PNGs are better. I think it might be PNG. Maybe. We're just going to call it cat. Okay. I did that part. We can go back to this now. Okay. So now, if I go back in here, and I'm just going to do a wipe. Now, this version that I am in, it is not the new one. It is not. It is 6.5. So don't get on me about it being the wrong version. I already know. It's not the new one. Okay. So we're going to open this image back up. I stuck it in here as cat. Okay, now if I put in, say, 77, it turns to 103.48. So yes, you do need to make sure. I could put it down to 76.6. Should be 102.94. That would be saying it's exactly what it was in Fusion, which is probably fine. So, all right, now this is the whole process in itself. HueForge. We have many different things. We have the general options for the height and such, and then you have materials, and then you have layer heights. If you want all this stuff in depth, I strongly recommend just go and watch the HueForge guy's videos. He's probably going to be a little bit more concise than me. So the first things first is I do have some measurements that I have written out myself for settings. Now, future me, if you wanted to check, you can come in here and then just be like, oh, it's 2.3 for this. That's a top loader. But say the thing's warped or something weird or whatever. I decided on 1.8. So in HueForge, you're going to come over to the max depth, and I'm going to set that at 1.8. Okay. All right. So we got that one. And then minimum depth I put at 0.46. All right. So, and then that leaves that at that there. And yeah, so that looks good there. These settings I set differently. I did the step height is 4, the layer height is 4. I've also tried 6. 6 is good. Not really sure how to feel about 6. I definitely don't think I like 8. I think 8 is too thick. Not enough translucency comes through in the materials when it's mixing. Base layer, I put at 0.3. And then detail size, I leave at 2, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we got that part. We got that part. Oh man, we're 20 minutes in. Thank you everybody that's still here. All right. So we got these settings. Now we need to figure out what materials are we going to use, right? How do you know? Materials is a whole other thing, right? There's a whole guide on like how to set these up with their light translucency or their transfer distance, or I forget what the word is for that. So HueForge is basically the idea of taking, and now this is in my own words, the way I'm describing this. It is taking a picture and then like putting on like a luminosity map, kind of, to create like a depth map, sort of, that then like gets converted into a height thing, like how this has like dips and valleys and stuff in it. Okay, so you got that part. Now you need to pick filament. Now I'm going to tell you, I have used Protopasta for 10 years. I'm probably never going to change. Probably not. I have found, now this is where I'm going to show you some examples. Okay. Now I'm going to try to censor them because the ones that I was asked to make have nudity in them. So I will try to make sure that I censor them for you. These ones don't, though, and I will kind of show you my findings in here. Is that so for this, and we're gonna fix the zoom on this too, so that way it can see the details of the thing. Come on, no, do the thing. Did you do the thing? I did the thing. Okay. Did it do the thing? Can you tell? Can you see? You can see that, right? It looks terrible. It looks terrible. It looks terrible. Where am I pointing this thing? I'm pointing it that way. Yeah. So there's pits, right? And then the carbon fiber, it didn't really lay down the way I was thinking it was going to lay down. But I love the pearl. The pearl looks good. It's pearl, and I think it's called drawing a blank. It's one of those reds from Protopasta. I can't remember which one it is. But that's with carbon fiber. And then I tried the white. And the white was kind of like good, except for it also had pits. But then the red. Look at the red. The red is nice. That came out pretty good. So then, what's the difference between these two? I made notes. It's a red that you don't want to use this red. I mean, you might. It's a nice red. It didn't come out too bad. Yet again, pits. I didn't really like that. But then when I used, let's see, what is this? Yeah, it's dragon scale purple on the top. I had less pits, and it kind of has like a pearlescent. I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, all right, I think I like this. Well, I started to find that the dragon scale purple, I don't know, it has a good thing to it. But the one I like the most is probably this one, the Nebula Silver Silk thingy. What is this stuff? Yo, Cameron, can you tell me what this is? Don't look at me. Look at this. There you go. See? That stuff. I really like this one. And I think it's because of the way it lays down. Now, let me show you an example. Yeah, this one. Now, I'll censor it for you, kids out there. So, this, hey, how you doing? Hold on, we're gonna fix this here a little bit better. Okay, so this one has the Nebula Pearl with High Five Blue behind it, and I gotta say, the High Five Blue in the back with the pearl, oh my god, it looks so good. It really does. So yeah, I'm just like really happy with that. I also did silver, right? So you also got your protopasta, still a second to none silver, sir. Yeah, see, and then it's, yeah, there's silver. I don't know, I got some on there. You get the idea. This one was with silver, and somehow it looks a lot more white than you would think. But if you look at like kind of the clouds in here, like that looks pretty cool, man. That looks like that turned out good. Once again, High Five Blue. What is High Five Blue? You know what High Five Blue is. Everybody knows what High Five Blue is. If you do the Joel thing, it's this stuff. You know, the High Five Blue. This stuff. This stuff's great. I'm telling you, it's great. Love it as a backer. The other one I love as a backer is the Galactic Empire Purple. I'm probably biased though because it's like my color. It's my color, so I kind of like it anyways. Another color that I like a lot is obviously the Candy Apple Red. This one comes out really good too. It's got a nice kind of transition to it. I think that one looks good too. But then like toppers, let's try to say that like the Candy Apple Red is good for a middle tone. But then I found that and it doesn't really look very good on the green screen, but this one, the Electric Lemonade Metallic Yellow, yeah, see, it disappears. The screen doesn't like it, but this stuff looks so nice on gold, man. It looks so nice on gold. Absolutely love it. Food for thought. Remember that. I'd show you the example, but like you could tell, it's kind of like disappearing, or sort of. Well, no, I don't know. Maybe I can show you. Let's see here. Oh no, it's disappearing. Oh man, you can barely tell. You can barely tell. Just if I tilt it. Oh no. Okay. Well, you get the point. It looks cool on gold for sure. And then of course the other one I really like is the pearl. The pearl, the Moonstruck White Satin. Man, that stuff's good. It's so much better than white. Why use white? Use pearl. It gives you this like, oh, the texture on it, and it gives you that like pearl kind of finish. Like, that looks nice. That looks nice. All right. Anyways, we're done with show and tell. I'm gonna like actually do something productive now. Hey, can we? Yeah, there you go. All right. So let's get back over here. So in here, we got to decide on colors. I've kind of been going a little bit with fudging it. I've been fudging it. That's the best way to put it. So what you do is you take the color and you drag and you drop it. So you take it and you drop it on the thing. And then, yeah, if you want to get rid of it, you just like turn it off, I guess, or like pull it down or something like that. And then yeah, I usually put this like pearl in here. I kind of have it sort of figured out, but not really. I clearly don't. I have no idea what I'm doing. In case you didn't figure it out in the last 30 minutes, I have no idea what I'm doing. Anyways, so you're in HueForge, you drop these down. You need to pay attention to, yeah, your depths. You can play with these over here. I don't really mess with them too much. I think maybe the smoothing I messed with at one point. But I don't know. Leaving it like low seems fine too. Again, things, you mess with it on your own. You'll figure it out. But yeah, I'd put that all the way up. I know like the HueForge guy recommended putting, what do you call it? putting white like underneath, like you would basically put this and then put this on top. Not exactly like this. It's don't trust me on that. So anyways, I like putting the pearl on top. I usually always do a dark, so it's some kind of dark color, which I think I tried to do it at 0.5, and then we put this in here. But see, this is kind of where I come to where I don't know if I like the way this is looking. And that's why I strongly say that if you don't know what you're doing, use generative stuff or use stock, images, because you're going to be super, super butthurt if you spend like whatever 12, 14, 20, 30 hours on some art piece that you made, only to find out you now have to change it because it's not coming out the way you expected. So that's another thing to think about too. Newer versions of HueForge are supposed to do like different color stuff. So there's that. Anyways, I'm going to say that I'm just going to go with this one. Ideally, I would probably want to go with a different one. Like, even one of these cats. I think I had a cat that was like majestic furball. Oh yeah, I think this one looked good. Which I don't know. Should we try to break it? This is an instability check. Oh, it just dropped in. Maybe it works still. Oh man. See, now I instantly feel a little bit more connection with this one. And I don't know, is it the cat? It's hard to say. But then you can like take this down. Oh man, that looks nice. And see, a lot of that's going to do with like how smooth the colors are on here. They're going to translate better over here. Now, obviously, if you don't do your map samples properly or at all, this is not going to look like this. We're not going to worry about that. Okay, so now you need to, we need to save this. So we can do a save project. Sure, we'll put it in our Comfy directory. Just this one time. It's the 24th year of the 6th month of the 19th day. Sure. Okay, save it. Now you should have a whole bunch of bits in the folder. A whole bunch of load of bits. Yeah. Yeah, so you're going to have a describe, which it explains to you how to do the layers. I'm not going to use that. And then there's the actual STL file. And you have your file. Sorry, it's supposed to be a HueForge project file. But every time I see the little thing, I go, yeah. That's a me problem, by the way. Okay, so slicer. So how did I get here though? All right, future you. You'll be in this software. Yeah. And you'll be like, oh, how do I get there? All right, you have to switch this one because it'll normally always be on Krita. You got to switch it to slicer. And then you got to hit configuration. And then configuration will pull up this guy. Okay, got it. All right, now I need to follow along with myself. Now you're going to go to add, and then you're going to add not this stuff. Going to go to outputs, go down to today's date. It's down here somewhere. There. And it's the only one in there. Okay, open. Now, very important that I noticed is to make sure that this model size matches the size in HueForge. This is important. So let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Scale to size. Is that what I did? No. How did I do that last time? Did I do settings? Where do you give me? Where do you give me? I'm drawing a blank here. Scale. I'm supposed to be checking the scale on the Z axis. No, I want actual size. Oh, never mind. It's right here. It's right here. Okay, so yeah, we got 1.78. And then in HueForge, it says 1.82 is the actual size of the model. This is important. Okay, so then go back to Slicer. So this, I need to scale to size. So yeah, see, it's 1.78, and this thing said it needed to be 1.82. Now this is important for the layer changes. Yeah, because we got to set those up manually. So you say, okay, it's going to make it slightly bigger. The rest of it should match. Yeah, 76.6102. Sounds like right on the money. Okay. Now I need to make a custom layer table. Custom layer tables are in settings and then layer height. Actually, before I do this, I'm going to take a quick peek for myself at the HueForge settings that I put up just to check them. Yeah, so this was the parameters that I had came up with. They look all pretty normal. There was something specific I wanted to show myself. Yeah, you can hold on to that. Just don't lose it. Support, no. Speed. This is it. Okay. Speed was the thing that I normalized. I tried to make everything as close as possible to itself, because I figured out that if you have it, or at least for my machines, this is for my machines, okay? Your stuff is going to be different. For my machines, having the speeds like go all wacky and stuff, it changes the back pressure in the nozzle, which then leads to more pits and more issues. And it doesn't really work out too well. Also, another thing to note was that I figured out the stiffer materials work better in a longer heat zone. So if your heat zone in your hot end is longer, the more stiff materials. So like your what is it called? It's the black with the glitter that they make. Protoplasm makes. I don't remember the name. Empire Strikes Black? Metallic Black? It's ESB. It's like the beer. I don't know. And then purple, the Galactic Empire. That one also is more of a stiff material that works better in a longer heat zone. So, but what about the short ones? Because I noticed the softer plastics don't work very good in a long heat zone because they get too hot and ooze out and create more pits. So it's kind of like a balance, I guess. And my machines, I have them calibrated to where 2 of them have short heat zones and 2 of them have long heat zones, which kind of creates a little bit of a weirdness to them, but that's what I figured out. So yeah, that's the information for that I needed to go to. Okay. Plate. Custom layer table. Sorry, I know, I'm skipping over. Future me, I'm sorry, this is taking forever and it's already a 40-minute video, but this is very important and you're going to thank yourself later. Okay, custom layer height table. This is something that's tricky, so it's only tricky because I keep forgetting how to use it. So I know you start out at 0, and then, yeah, the first layer is 0.3 to the 0.3, yeah, for the layer height of 0.3, because something that I figured out, even when you use the layer height, like you set the layer height at like 0.04, you spend like 4 hours making a solid object, and I was like, this is ridiculous, I'm not gonna do this, that's a waste of time. And in, you know, other softwares, you can do that and it's fine. But no, yeah. So I said, no, I'm making a custom layer table. We're doing that because that's better for me. It lets me keep my sanity. So now we got to remember what we're doing here is we're creating this height. So 0.5 of it is going to be black, right? Which, yeah, that's the wrong black. We don't care. It might not even be black. I'd probably fudge it and use Galactic Empire. Just whatever is like solid, nice, thick, good color. Even Hi-Fi Blue is good for that too. So 0.5. So then you go in Slicer, and then we need to get to layer 0.5 for the black. So we'll do 0.3 again, and then we're going to do 0.5, and then we're going to tell it 0.2, because we're going from 3 to 5. We only need 0.2 of a layer. You don't need 0.04 of a layer and X amount of layers. You don't need that. No, you only need one layer. That's fine. Then we're going to go from 0.5 to the end, which should be 1.82. Right, yeah. 1.82. Now this is what is 0.04. Now I need to check, because I don't know if this will actually export correctly. And the only reason I say that is because in the print settings for layers, okay, I have it on 0.04. You got to make sure, because that's the other thing I noticed about Slicer, is that if these numbers don't match, it will do some weird funky math and like try to figure it out for you. But it ends up not matching HueForge, which creates a problem. So these numbers need to match. Okay, so that means my custom layer table, let's just check, make sure it's still here. Yeah, it's still here. It's here. This is the custom layer table. Future me, top loader, custom layer table. Sounds good. Okay. Now you export the Gcode. Save it wherever. We'll just put a -1 on it, just check. Say save. All right. We're almost at the end here. I'm sorry this is so long. I'm really, really sorry, everybody. I'm sorry it's so long. Okay. So now we go into Repetier. I use Repetier. You probably don't use Repetier. Repetier is like a fossil. Anybody who still uses Repetier, you're awesome. Thanks. Maybe I'm talking to myself. Who knows? Okay, so I need to figure out where I put it. Pretty sure I put it in this directory. Yeah. Okay, this is the -1. Yeah, okay, I'm glad I did that. Okay, you open that. So now it should look like a mess. Oh, it's such a pretty cat picture. Yes. Yes, we have cat. This is nice squiggly mess of cat. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm not gonna show it to you, but it's here. Okay, so now I need to edit the Gcode. Basically, I need to go in here and I need to tell myself when to change the filament. So first, I need to make sure that I get to, what are we doing? HueForge claims we gotta go up until 0.5 of a layer before we change. So in Repetier, we're gonna go to the Gcode. No, we're not. Well, we might search because it's EZ. No, yeah, G1Z. G1Z is what we're doing. Yeah, what we're checking here. So we're gonna look for G1Zs. The first one is at 0.3. That's correct. Search. The next one is at 0.5. Yes, that means that's a 0.2 layer height. That's perfect. Next one should be 0.04. Okay, so this is where it would change to the next one. This is where we're going to put in our new code, which it's going to be a command to tell me to change the filament. So I'm going to do a M117 attention human change filament on what is this thing? It's top loader. I don't know. Top loader to mid color. And you see how I got a typo in there? Toe loader. It's so funny to hear the TTS mess that up. And then you're like, did I do that? Did I misspell that? Yes, you did. You did indeed misspell that. Okay, anyways, getting on track here. So that's at 0.54, right? So right before it changes to that layer, we're going to tell ourselves to change filament. Then the next time, now, so we got to get to 0.9 is the next one. So I would just pan through just to make sure. So we got 5.4, next should be 5.8. So we're trying to get to 9. Keep going. All right, 6, 9. After this one. So yeah, right before the next one starts, we'll put in our next command. You hear that? Mark is already telling me the next thing's complete. Gotta go do it. I don't know if you picked that up or not, but whatever. So G1Z M117, attention, human, change filament color to mid-tone. No, change color to highlight on top loader. Now I had to start telling myself what the thing is, because I'll have the printers going and then it'll tell me that the thing is ready and I'm like, wait, what? For which one? What? Because if you have 4 of these things going and it says attention human change the filament and you're like, wait, what? Yeah. Something you got to avoid. So then you're basically done. I know, that's so weird. It took me almost yeah. We're not gonna boast about that. Anyways, so from 0.9 to 1.8, it's gonna do a highlight. And then at the end, you can always be like, go to the end. Where is the end? Oh my god. Okay, default. Yeah, see, it says print is complete. You could change that too to top loader is complete. You'd probably want to be more descriptive. It's like cat top loader. Yeah, see? Ooh, gotta put the cat in there. I probably should have did that on the other one. Anyways, and then you'll save it. I usually add another -1 to keep track of what step I'm on of the whole process, which I don't want to save it here. That's not where we want to save that. We would want to put it in the top loader prints section. Yeah. And then maybe we'll put a cat on here. Here, we'll say cat. Cat. And then you save. You save, you print it, and you're like, damn, that's cool. And you're being so excited. I don't know if there's any other things that I should add on here to tell you. See. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I covered everything. Yeah. Man, okay. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching me get through this process. I know I stumbled. I'm sorry. I haven't made a YouTube video instructional in a very long time. I am, however, going to be doing my very first library workshop. I know, I'm so excited. I haven't done an in-person workshop with humans in a very long time, and I'm very excited. It's going to be at the library at Rockwood in Gresham with children. We're going to show them how to make things. It's going to be so great. Anyways, I want to make more videos. I'll probably make an update video, which might be long or short, and I'll kind of tell you what I've been doing. Or where I've been. I don't know. We'll see where it takes me. Anyways, thank you so much. If you have any suggestions for my workflow that you think could work into my existing tool set, please leave suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to see them. And yeah, I think that's it. We will see you in the next one.